I'm the only one who does talk and keeps talking about the same old shit 24/7. You know, nobody compares to what I'm doing. Only one who only one that talks like this. He's been dead for 74 years, 76 years. Only one to talk like this he was the last one to talk like this was 76 years ago. So that's about it. You know,
What happened 76 years ago?
they killed the Messiah for the second time.
What's his name?
Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was the Messiah. And he proved it when he got 11 million of his own people. Because he was similar. Remember what Jesus said he'll do when he comes back the second time when he's carrying the cross to Galilee, right? Remember he said, don't cry to me. He told his own people. He saw some women crying. He said, don't cry to me. You cry to your future descendants. Well, 2,000 years later, he made 11 million of them cry. And remember what he said when Jesus said he's going to come back? When he comes back, he's not come to party. He came here to judge the world and condemn it. Condemn and judge the world for its evilness, right? Well, only ones that fits that, only 2,000 years later, remember what he said to his disciples? I'll come back when man can fly like a bird. Well, in 1889, men could start this, using like gliders, beginning of flying. Well, that's when Adolf Hitler was born. And sure enough, when he came of age, he was recognized with his nomination in 1933 when 5 nations honored him and called him the Messiah for the second time. That he was the Messiah the second time, and they call him the Führer, right? When he called the Führer? Well, fuck, that's 5 nations. I'll name you the 5 nations when they came into power in 1933. Here it goes. Spain, Italy, Turkey, Spain, Italy, Turkey, Austria, and Japan. Those were your 5 nations who honored him when he came in 1933. And they, and he came like a thief. Did he not? He didn't come to party. What did Adolf Hitler want? He just wanted to judge and criticize the world. Well, isn't that similar to what Jesus said he would do in Revelations? Did not Jesus said when he comes back for the second time, he's going to fucking judge and come like a thief in the night? Well, Adolf came like a thief in the night of his own people, killed 11 million of them.
What about black people's potential?
I'm just telling you.
What about Farrakhan? What about those guys?
No, I'm just telling you. It's similar. What Adolf Hitler did in history is what they're waiting for the Messiah. They're waiting for Jesus, right? Because Jesus is supposed to judge and claim, and he's not here to make peace, right? When their Messiah comes for the second time, what he's supposed to do? Condemn the world, where the 90% is going to rot in hell, while the 10% goes to heaven, right?
Yep.
So, the only one that came similar to that, to judge and condemn the world and criticize and didn't want peace, that was Adolf Hitler. Similar to the words of what Jesus says in Revelations.
So,
and that's why he got the 5 nations.
So speak on
in 1933.
Speak on black people's potential. What do you think of? What do you think about that? What were you saying the other day? Black people don't know their potential.
Well, not black people. It's people of color. Period. People of color do not know their potential because they're not racist or will never unite as one. People of color are the majority of this nation. And they took it they took that in 2007. They took that, they finally got by a hair. Now they are not just 53, they're probably about 57 now to 42. It's just getting bigger. And the thing is, they don't know the potential, and they will never unite as one because they're not racist. But they do fight among themselves. And that's what keeps them from gaining control of this nation. Because if people were smart, if people of color, if they were smart, they will no longer fight among themselves and learn how to be racist and focus on the Senate of Congress so they could take over this nation the democracy way if they were smart.
What's your message for Farrakhan?
But they're not racist, and that's what's going to keep them divided and always a fight among themselves.
You said you admire Farrakhan?
Even though they are the majority of this nation, They'll never know their potential because of that fact.
Lawrence, you say
And the minorities, which are the white Anglo-Saxons for the first time, which usually are the majorities for the first time in the history of this nation, are the minorities now, will keep control of this country because they know how to they know how to orchestrate a lot of shit. And they're doing it through the law enforcement agencies in different prison systems throughout this country. They're teaching people in prison how to be separatists. And that's prison policy, to be separate, to hang with your own race. Oh, when you go to prison, hang with your own race. Don't mix, hang with your own race. Well, now they're teaching that same policy in the local county jails of this state. They don't want to see people to unite. They don't want to see people of color uniting as one. They don't want to see that. They want to see you be separated and not trust one another and fight among yourselves instead of uniting as one. Because they know eventually they're going to lose the power, and the white Anglo-Saxons will lose control of this country down that road. And they know this. And the best way to hold that power is keeping people of color separated and making sure they fight among themselves. And that is today happening with events.
what do you think of Farrakhan?
What about him?
Speak on him.
He has his point of views. He's right, but I'm not going to back him because he's not for unification. He's only for his own people. Now Farrakhan, that's his